Imagine waking up one morning to discover that nearly a quarter of your retirement savings has vanished overnight. Not because of a market crash. Not because of fraud. But because of a mathematical time bomb that's been ticking for decades. Right now, millions of Americans are sleepwalking toward a financial cliff that will fundamentally reshape their retirement years. The Social Security crisis isn't just coming, it's already here. And what I'm about to share with you isn't speculation or fear-mongering. These are cold, hard facts that every American needs to understand before it's too late. Before we dive deep into this critical investigation, take a second to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. This channel is dedicated to exposing the financial truths that others won't tell you, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's start with the bombshell that no politician wants to acknowledge. By 2033, just 8 years from now, Social Security will only be able to pay 76 cents on every dollar it owes to retirees. That's not a prediction, it's simple math. And while Washington plays political games, real Americans are about to face the biggest shock to their retirement security in nearly a century. Think about your parents, your grandparents, or yourself. Think about the decades of hard work, the faithful contributions from every single paycheck, the promise that this money would be there when you needed it most. Now imagine telling a 75-year-old widow that her monthly check money she quite literally paid for is about to be slashed by 24%. But here's what makes this situation truly infuriating: this crisis didn't appear overnight. The warning signs have been flashing red for decades. The same politicians who promised to protect Social Security have systematically ignored the mathematical reality staring them in the face. Let me break down exactly how we got here, because understanding the problem is crucial to protecting yourself and your loved ones. In the 1960s, there were 5 workers paying into Social Security for every 1 person receiving benefits. Today, that ratio has plummeted to less than 3 workers per beneficiary. And it's getting worse every year. Why? Because Americans are living longer than ever before, which is wonderful news, except the system was never designed to support retirements lasting 20, 25, or even 30 years. Meanwhile, declining birth rates mean fewer new workers are entering the system to support an ever-growing pool of retirees. Here's where it gets really interesting, and by interesting, I mean potentially devastating. Social Security operates through what's called a trust fund. Think of it like a massive savings account that's been building up reserves for decades. But in 2021, something critical happened. For the first time in its history, Social Security started paying out more in benefits than it collected in payroll taxes. Let that sink in for a moment. What happens to your bank account when you're consistently withdrawing more than you're depositing? Exactly. The trust fund is now being drained to cover this shortfall. And according to the Social Security Administration's own projections, that fund will be completely depleted by 2033. When that happens, benefits will automatically be cut to match whatever money is coming in through current payroll taxes, hence the 24% reduction. But here's what makes this situation even more alarming: while everyone's focused on the looming benefit cuts, something else is happening right now that's already affecting millions of Americans. The Social Security Administration itself is being gutted from the inside out. Have you tried calling the Social Security office lately? Notice anything different? Wait times that used to be minutes now stretch into hours. Claims that once took weeks to process now take months. Field offices across the country have been closed, and the remaining staff is overwhelmed. These aren't future problems, they're happening right now, today, affecting real people who desperately need help accessing their benefits. Let me share a story that puts a human face on this crisis. I recently spoke with Sarah, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. Sarah worked for 40 years, paying into Social Security with every paycheck. When she needed to resolve an issue with her benefits, she spent 3 months trying to get an appointment at her local office only to discover it had been permanently closed. The nearest office was now 70 miles away. Does this sound like the secure retirement system Americans were promised? But the current service crisis is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's talk about what a 24% benefit cut actually means in real dollars. The average Social Security benefit in 2025 is about $1,900 per month. A 24% reduction would slash that to roughly $1,444. That's a difference of $456 every month, money that real people count on for food, medicine, and basic necessities. Now, you might be thinking, surely Congress won't let this happen. They'll step in and fix it before we reach the crisis point. And that brings us to perhaps the most frustrating aspect of this entire situation: the solutions exist. They're not even particularly complicated. But they require political courage that has been notably absent from Washington. Want to know what those solutions are? They broadly fall into three categories. First, Congress could raise the payroll tax cap. Currently, Social Security taxes only apply to the first $160,200 of earnings. Remove that cap, and suddenly the system has a massive new source of funding. Second, they could gradually increase the retirement age to reflect our longer lifespans. Third, they could modify the benefit formula, potentially reducing payments to wealthy retirees while protecting or even increasing benefits for those who need them most. But here's the critical point: every year Congress delays acting, these solutions become more painful to implement. It's like a leak in your roof: fix it early, and it's a manageable repair. Wait too long, and suddenly you're looking at major structural damage. So what can you do to protect yourself and your loved ones? First, understand that this isn't a distant problem, it's approaching rapidly, and the time to prepare is now. If you're still working, maximizing your personal retirement savings becomes more crucial than ever. That means taking full advantage of 401(k) matches, exploring IRAs, and potentially adjusting your investment strategy. For those nearing retirement age, the timing of when you claim Social Security benefits becomes an increasingly complex decision. Claiming early means accepting a permanently reduced benefit, but it also means getting something before potential cuts take effect. Waiting means a larger monthly check, but it could mean starting benefits just as the trust fund runs dry. But perhaps the most important thing you can do: get informed and get involved. The only reason politicians have been able to kick this can down the road for so long is that most Americans don't understand the true scope of the crisis. That changes now. This isn't about politics, it's about math. It's about promises made to generations of American workers. It's about the basic security we've all been counting on for our retirement years. And most importantly, it's about taking action before it's too late. The Social Security crisis isn't just another headline, it's a fundamental threat to millions of Americans' retirement security. But knowledge is power, and now you understand exactly what's at stake and what needs to be done. What do you think about this situation? Have you started preparing for possible benefit cuts? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found this information valuable, please help spread awareness by hitting that like button and sharing this video with friends and family who need to hear this message.